Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by UNC Health Southeastern. Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everyone. Today I am at UNC Health Southeastern's Gibson Cancer Center, and I'm joined by Catherine, who's a PA here. How are you doing?
Thanks, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful day, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you guys do here and some of the services that you offer and what makes you different from other places.
Okay.
Let's dive in. Talk to me about Gibson Cancer Center and what makes you guys different.
So, one of the amazing things about this cancer center was that the Gibsons, who donated the money for it, they wanted to be able to keep treatment local. So it's bad enough to be diagnosed with cancer, but then to have to travel up the road and put that kind of transportation difficulties on your family is more than anyone should have to bear. So the idea is, can we now take this very serious disease and treat it locally and save on time, effort, and energy of that family so they can put that into getting their loved one well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk, this is obviously something that's different for every patient. Cancer is a very difficult thing to treat. How do you guys approach it?
So cancer is based on which part of the body initially began to have the cancer. That's why, unfortunately, we can't just say, oh, there's a cure for cancer, because they're all completely different. The other amazing thing that's come up in the last couple of years, though, is that we have new ways to treat. And so, you know, what used to have been a complete death sentence is just no longer the case anymore. We have all these amazing new immunotherapies and new ways to target different parts of the tumor. I always like to tell my patients it's like a garden, and they've got weeds in their garden. And so we have to find the thing that's going to kill that weed. Now, as cancer goes on and continues to mutate, sometimes you'll get a new weed. And now I've got to change treatment because I've got to take out this new weed. But not to give up that, you know, that the weeds are very treatable. And so we can go in and garden with the best of them.
That's a great analogy. I like that.
Thanks.
So let's talk a little bit more about some of the services you guys here. I know you do, you know, lab stuff, but from somebody who isn't in the medical field, tell me what you got.
So basically, from soup to nuts, we have patients come in, they get their labs drawn. If they are seeing us on the medical oncology side, then if they're getting treatment that day, I have to make sure that their body is healthy enough to get the treatment, that I'm not giving them something that's going to make things worse. And so if they pass all of the flags that we have, then we move forward with treatment. And then we continue to make sure that the treatment that we're doing is still working, that I'm still killing the right weeds. And so we will do imaging. So we have CT scans, we have PET scans. We actually have a PET scanner here in the building, which is unusual. A lot of times it's a traveling PET, and then you have to wait, then put a delay in treatment sometimes because you're waiting for the scanner to get here. We actually have one, so that's been a blessing. And it has more than one use. You can also use it for cardiac PET scans.
Wow.
So again, for a very, very rural place, we have really high speed, high tech treatment options and imaging options that are available, not just anywhere.
And beyond, you know, the medical treatment stuff, you guys also provide transportation and do a number of other things to help people who are going through cancer.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that has come out in the last 10 to 15 years has been cancer navigation. So how do you, it's not enough to say, okay, this person has cancer, have a nice day. We've got to treat the whole person, and that includes their family, their ability to get the patient to, you know, to their appointment, and then do they need help getting things to eat? Do they need help with transportation? Do they need help affording their medication? So all of that is a whole person approach to our patients here, and that's why we have really incredible oncology social workers.
To learn more about cancer care at UNC Health Southeastern, visit their website at www.unchealthsoutheastern.org. This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by UNC Health Southeastern.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Grab your smocks, everyone, because today we're hanging out with Natalie at Myrtle Beach Art Museum's Pottery Studio.
So I'm just pressing it, and I'm using my body weight to press on my hands. I'm not using my hand strength so much. Nice and steady while you're doing it. And that's hard, but you'll notice that I'm always bracing one hand with my other hand, and I almost always have my elbows on my legs to stabilize them.
Natalie is the Pottery Studio manager and instructor, helping new and seasoned potters hone their skills.
What is the most difficult vessel to make?
There's a couple that are pretty hard to make. Bottles seem to give people a hard time. Big, wide bowls, because they want to fall down. You know, if you get too much water on them, they fall down. If you pull them out too fast, they fall down. But the smaller bowls are easier to manage.
With more than 20 years of experience, she makes the craft look effortless.
All right, so I'm going to do what's called pulling up, and I do this at a much slower rate. And I'm just gonna push on the bottom here to push that clay up to the top.
Have you guessed what she's making yet?
And then I'll do some collaring. And collaring is another way of bringing the neck in. So I'm just going to take my hands on the outside and give it some pressure here. That's going to make the clay go up. It's going to make it thicker right where I'm pressing, and it's going to bring that center in.
After a few tweaks, voila, it's a beautiful vase.
I can't believe I got to do this today. I've
I'm
wanted
so
to do
excited.
This for so long.
That's
You have no
wonderful.
idea. This is so
Oh,
cool.
I'm so glad you like it.
If you're interested in hanging out with Natalie as well, check out her classes and join the wait list at myrtlebeachartmuseum.org. Well, good morning and thanks so much for joining us today again on Living Local Carolina. Today I am joined in studio by Michelle Gerald. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
All right, you are the founder of SIS. What does SIS stand for?
Sisters Inspiring Sisters. We're always looking for volunteers to help. We're always needing funding. If you would like to donate funds, we're always looking for that, because a lot of it I do out of pocket. A lot of it I do myself. And so if I could mention anything else, it would be that we always need volunteers to help give out the food, to help give out the blankets and those things. We did a back to school drive. I was granted a Small Smiles grant, and they asked me what would I do, and I said with that I wanted to make sure that our children in my neighborhood were able to be children for a day. We had the bouncy house out. We had people to connect with us and just cook food, and we had Sisters United, they donated 100 baggies of school supplies. Brothers United were on the grill. Myrtle Beach, the neighborhood services of Myrtle Beach, they were out there giving out popcorn. The police came by, the fire truck came by, and we had all these games set up for the kids. And I do that every year, back to school drive every year, but this year I was able to, with that grant, make it big. So I'm always collecting school supplies. I'm always collecting clothes, just anything that you can think of that someone may need that they don't have. I collect, and funding is also a big part, because again, I do it all out of my pocket. A lot of it I do out of my pocket. So we're always collecting through. If I could say anything, it would be just connect with me if you have anything to donate. Nothing's too small.
All right, how can people get in contact with you?
You can find me on social media, on Facebook. Look up SIS and SIS-Sisters Inspiring Sisters. Everything is up there, the new events and any information that you may need. My contact information is all on there. If you would like to email me, that email address is sisinformation2018@gmail.com.
Good morning. Thanks everybody for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Will from Dreamwalkers. How are you doing?
Good.
Awesome. I want you to go ahead and tell me your story.
Okay. Guess I can start from the high school days. Graduated in 1996 from Lincoln High School. Was born and raised on the McClellanville area in South Carolina. Played football, basketball, baseball, and pretty much excelled in football. Got a scholarship to play at Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. Played there for a couple of years and got injured. Well, actually, I played basketball and football at college. Yeah, I was like the only freshman playing football and basketball. At the end of my sophomore, actually, it was the last spring game. I got injured making a tackle. The injury was I fractured my C4, C5 vertebrae. My parents flew up there. They quit their jobs, and I was with them for every day for like 4 years straight before my mom passed. But with Dreamwalkers, that's a little bit of the background. With it is geared towards athletes like in my position, and it will be like a resource, outreach to help them with certain things like transportation, whether it's spiritually, physically, mentally. It's something to help people that's in my position. But it's not limited to athletes, but it's geared towards athletes.
Gotcha. You know firsthand what toll it takes not only on you, but on your entire life, your family, your inner circle, how much of a toll that takes whenever you go through an injury like that. What has your recovery been like over the years, and how has your family helped you through that?
Oh man, like I said, the day of my injury, I was with my parents. I'm grateful for every moment that they were there. I had a lot of friends and family that call and check and come by. Those two are there every day. Like, I couldn't ask for better parents than that.
Mm-hmm. So now you're able to pay it forward and help people in similar situations. You said it a little bit before, but what are some of the resources that Dreamwalkers helps out with?
If I have the funding and backing from the community, I'll give away as much as possible. It doesn't matter. My goal is to help others out in my position.
So are you able to provide like equipment? You were saying transportation. What does that look like?
It was just like some folks need to go to the doctor, or someone need to go out with their family. They're having family functions and they're stuck at home. Little things like that would be a huge plus for someone's family. Mentally, I would want to have physical therapy, someone that deal with mental health, or therapists, just different outlets, like with people in my position that they can reach out.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.